Today on Getting Real with the Housewives, Louis gets sued as we break down the explosive first part of the Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion, and why Lisa Rinna really quit Real Housewives of Beverly Hills as Kim Zolciak is selling her wigs amid her divorce. Plus, former Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Angie Harrington reveals what she thinks the show will look like without Jen Shah.
But I do think that they know what they're doing in casting, and they know how to find like big, fun personalities. Some more a little delusional than others.
We've got that plus so much more on today's Getting Real with the Housewives. Hey guys, Christina Garibaldi here with Us Weekly executive producer Mandy DeCamp, and what an explosive first part of the Jersey reunion.
It was really good. It didn't disappoint. Like we said, we could have skipped the whole season and gone straight to the reunion because these are the answers we've been wanting. Finally, Melissa and Teresa go head to head, and this is just the beginning because this is
just the beginning, and you guys have so much to say about it. Joanne says, I love the wedding, talking about Teresa and Louis' wedding special. I thought it was fun and entertaining and romantic. It was entertaining.
Or was. RMC says, next season on Jersey will be the biggest season of all. Nobody is leaving. The feud is where they're going. Unless Louis is found to be too dangerous and is kicked off, Teresa will follow him. Good point.
Good point. Very good point. And then Earl says, Team Teresa. Also, Laura also confirmed on several videos with other YouTubers that Margaret did spread the rumor. Melissa is a liar. Melissa also has no control if she is fired or not. Someone has to go, and it's not Teresa. I do not think Melissa is coming back. Her only storyline on the show is her fighting with Teresa.
I was just going to say on the reunion last night, Melissa was like, no, I was cast because I'm cute. And I have a lot going on. I'm like, I don't know.
And then Andy's like, you were cast because you have a double staircase, just like Teresa. Really? That was it?
Yeah,
that's all it takes?
Yeah. Christina, start building it in your Jersey house.
Seriously. Amazing.
JoJo says, Andy, if you pick Teresa over Melissa to stay on the show, I'm so done with every single one of the Real Housewives shows.
People are divided. They really are. We will get into Jersey in just a second, but we have a lot of news to get to, especially on Kroy and Kim's messy divorce. So Kroy seemingly took a jab at Kim as their messy split continues to play out. He took to Instagram stories last week to share a cartoon of a blonde woman in front of a camera. He captioned the post, "Don't be so obvious," which fans assumed was meant to be a dig at Kim wanting to get back on reality TV. And now, so while he is making digs on Instagram, Kim is selling her wigs. She's offering some of her wigs on her online storefront, the Biermann's Closet. I wonder if she's going to change that name. It says, enjoy shopping personal pieces from Kim's salon that are slightly worn or even some that are brand new. She's selling 7 different pieces, including a brunette lace front, an ash blonde creation with dark roots, and a bouncy honey-colored mane. And they range from $1,500 to almost $3,000.
That's a lot of money for a wig.
It's a lot of money. Yeah, so it seems like doing everything to make a buck.
Yeah. I saw something the other day. I don't know if there's any truth to it, but it was some like meme or something that said she's begging Andy to come back on the Housewives.
Yeah.
Now is the time for her to come back if there's ever a time.
Totally. And, news just came out too that she completed this good parenting course in the wake of her divorce as well. So I don't know, maybe she's just trying to, move in the next direction of her life. But I mean, I'm sure fans would really enjoy having her back on Housewives. Please let us know in the comments.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Especially with everything going on now. I think so.
Oh, I wish she was on this season. I mean, I loved watching Kim. So
I do too.
I say bring it on.
Bring it on.
Well, moving on over to California, Erica Jane was spotted on what appeared to be a date with a recently arrested lawyer, Jim Wilkes II, amid her divorce, of course, from attorney Tom Girardi. So the pair were seen strolling through Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, which, like, what a funny place to take a stroll.
Seriously.
Like the beach. I don't know.
Right. Just gonna take a stroll through the casino. No big deal.
He's a longtime associate of her estranged husband, which is really interesting. Page 6 reported that he's been helping her with her financial woes amid her divorce. And the U.S. Sun reported that he allegedly sent her just under $500,000. So quite helpful. All right. So he filed for divorce in March 2021 from his wife, although he recently posted a photo with her saying, "My wife and me having a nice moment." The lawyer, who's best known for suing nursing homes on behalf of abused residents, is facing criminal charges after firing 2 shots inside of his home during a domestic dispute with an unknown woman last month. This is very convoluted, this
Yes,
story.
it is.
This is not just Erica's dating a new man. There's a lot to it. He was also arrested for felony aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and misdemeanor battery. And authorities say the woman also might be prosecuted.
she's just hanging out with the wrong crowd. Like,
Yeah,
let's
I
just
don't
move
know
on.
if this is
Right. I think
bad.
maybe he did post the photo with his wife being like, okay, maybe don't believe everything you see. Just because we're taking a stroll together doesn't mean we are together. So maybe he is back together with his wife, but nonetheless, probably maybe shouldn't be hanging out with this guy.
No, I would just say cut ties with anyone who has any ties with Tom Girardi.
Yeah. Probably don't want to be associated with him at all.
Like, go on Tinder or whatever.
Right. You're not gonna have a hard well, maybe you have a hard time. I don't know. I don't know.
Go on Raya, the celebrity
Right. Yes.
app.
There's got to be somebody else out there besides these old lawyers that are going to do anything for you. All right, well, let's keep it in Beverly Hills because Lisa Rinna has her late mom to thank for making her walk away from Beverly Hills. So in an interview with ES Magazine, she said that her mom, who died in 2021, came to her in a dream and urged her to quit the show. She said, it's so wild because half the world will believe this, half the world would say that's so weird. She said, I was sleeping and I heard her say to me, it's time for you to go. She added, I told a psychic and she said, oh yeah, she's come to me and told me that she wants you to be happy and follow your dream. But she says, it's time for you to go. I've never told anybody that except for the psychic. I'm guided by my mom for sure. So she admitted that it wasn't an easy decision because who wants to leave a job, but felt it was time because of the fan responses that she was getting. She said, I mean, we were getting death threats, some of the most horrible things I've ever seen in print in my life. And it's a reality show. It's a stupid show. I thought it's time to go. I'm not sure how much longer that can exist in the zeitgeist, to be honest with you. It does seem like fans are like, I don't want to say crazier than ever, but really like let their opinions known. I mean, even Andy Cohen said out this week as well that, people should kind of like lay off Tom Sandoval. Like it's just getting a little out of control.
It is. I agree with Andy Cohen on that one. I think that people need to just chill out a little bit. We all get entertainment out of watching these shows. Let's keep it as that, let's not make this into such a crazy, like real thing. Yes, it's called reality, but it's not our lives. It's their lives. Just find it entertaining and move on.
Right. It's not that serious and it doesn't affect your life at all. Like, yes, I can't get enough information about
I want to talk about it.
I want to talk about it, but really I don't go to sleep thinking about it at night.
No.
Right. It doesn't affect my day-to-day life.
But I totally agree. Like I believe her when she says this happened in a dream or whatever that.
Oh yeah. I believe it.
Some of my craziest, clearest thoughts come in the middle of the night, whether it's a dream or I just wake up because I have anxiety. Right. And, I write things down on my phone and I'm like, oh, I got to remember that because like, I can't think this clearly at 2 p.m., but 2 a.m. I'm good.
Right. Totally. So funny.
All right. So some big Jersey news, which I wish that we had known before the reunion taped, but Teresa Giudice's husband, Louis, his business, Digital Media Solutions, has been named in a harassment lawsuit. Us Weekly confirmed that this week. According to court documents obtained by us, a woman named Juanita Williams filed a class action lawsuit against Choice Health Insurance and his Digital Media Solutions company earlier this month. Williams claimed that she had received multiple telemarketing calls from the firms, despite being listed on the National Do Not Call Registry. Williams, who is seeking $1,500 per call, also alleged in her filing that she answered one of Choice Health's calls in September 2022 and was promptly transferred to one of their insurance agents. During the conversation, the healthcare company allegedly told her that Digital Media Solutions had generated her number for them as a potential sales lead. Louis launched Digital Media Solutions in 2012. According to the firm's website, DMS is a leading provider of technology-enabled digital performance advertising solutions connecting consumers with advertisers. Is this giving you Jen Shah vibes? Or
literally, that's all I've been thinking. I'm like, this is like Jen Shah, like scamming maybe elderly people into, purchasing things that they shouldn't be purchasing.
Yeah, this is not good. So he's listed as a co-founder and executive vice president of business development. Neither Louis nor Teresa have addressed the lawsuit, and Us Weekly has reached out for comment. So developing story, stay tuned.
I mean, like, it seems like everything that Louis touches in business turns to SHIT or it's just, I don't know, or there's some shady stuff going on. Let's get into the recap because, I mean, we don't really touch too much onto Louis, but it seems like that's what's going to be happening in the next couple of episodes. And I mean, based on maybe what happened with Dina Manzo, what happened with Pizzagate, it just seems like every time he goes into business with somebody, it just ends up in ruins.
I know. I am worried about Teresa. I'm worried that she was a sucker for this guy and that he's not what he says he is. But let's hold on to that love bubble as long as we can.
Yeah, hopefully it don't pop. Well, the reunion kicked off with a bang with Joe Giudice phoning in.
So good. I mean,
So
was
good.
it planned? I feel like it wasn't.
No, I don't think it was. Like, I really don't think that it was. He was
Yeah.
calling to see if his uncle can get his bags removed from under his eyes.
The funniest thing is, like, he didn't say he was asking for it for free, but like,
Right.
I love that he's totally still trying to get stuff for free. I'm like, did you learn your lesson, Joe?
Right.
To just pay for something?
Yeah, I love that. I do appreciate that they have like a really good, let Teresa and Joe have a really good relationship now. And who knows? I mean, maybe down the line, Joe Giudice will come back. We have no idea, but
It seems like he just is so, like, it just seems like he has no interest. Like, oh yeah, the cameras were there, but I was on a show. Like,
right.
it just seems like, but that's what I love about him too. Because
Yeah.
it just seems like he's such a character that, like, he's like that whether the cameras are on or not.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's so true. That's who he was. I mean, you can't fault him for that one. And I mean, maybe a lot of people would like prefer Joe Giudice over Louis right now, it seems like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I was dying when Teresa's like, feel my heartbeat.
Dramatic. So dramatic. I mean, I didn't know what she was asking him. I thought she was like going to fix one of his hair. Like,
Right,
what is going on?
Like, did she get a boob job? She wants him to feel her boobs. Like, what's going on here? But like we said, he finally asked what was going on with Dina Manzo.
Yeah.
She said, she just didn't want to be on camera at the wedding, but there were so many people that were at that wedding that didn't have to be on camera. Like, she didn't have to be in the wedding party. Like, she could have just been there in the audience or in the, in the crowd and not on camera. Something definitely happened between them.
Yeah, I agree. I think that something happened with the business deal that we don't know about, and there's more to this story than Dina didn't want to be on camera. She knows how it works. She can avoid the cameras.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah, like it just seems like it was a bad business deal.
Yeah.
Then we touched on Dolores, that Frank Catania still lives with David. This was so weird to me. Paulie's not legally divorced after like 14 years. I don't know. I mean, she seems really happy. I don't worry about Paulie, but it is weird that Frankie's still living with David.
It's bizarre. And I do kind of wish sometimes that Dolores gave us a little bit more. I know she's more of a private housewife, but sometimes that doesn't work. Like, there's obviously, like, don't you think it's weird, Dolores? Like, it's freaking weird. Just admit that it's weird.
Right. Yeah. Like, this is not the norm. Like, yes, it might work for you, but from outsiders, it is a little strange.
Yeah.
It's very, very strange. Margaret actually admitting finally this whole, I agree with, Andy. I think he was saying, like, this is the most ridiculous fight ever between Rachel and Danielle. Like, why are we still talking about this? I still don't even understand it. And Margaret even admitting that the whole Arsenal thing was misrepresented and it really wasn't that big of a deal. But I feel like the two of them are still going to go at it next season.
Yeah, I think Danielle lashed out so badly on her at the reunion that I don't know how you can come back for that. I know that, like, they pretended to come back from it immediately, but I'm like, I don't think Rachel's going to pursue any real friendship with her.
I don't think so either. Yeah, I feel like they've kind of picked their sides. Like, Danielle is with Teresa, Rachel's with Melissa, and I think that's like the line in the sand. If everybody comes back, I feel like there is a really big divide. I did agree with Teresa calling out Rachel, though, saying that question about Antonia was a setup. It totally was.
It totally was. We said that the second we saw that. There's no way that she just randomly asked that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then, of course, we have Teresa versus Melissa. I mean, whose side are you on in this one after watching part one?
Oh my gosh. I'm a fair weather fan, I guess. I change sides every week. I would say after this one, I'm Teresa again.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have any real logic behind that other than I in some ways just want Teresa to be happy. Yeah. And I just feel like Melissa and Joe are totally on the show because of Teresa. I mean, of course they are, that seems obvious. I feel like there's more to Melissa that we don't see sometimes.
Yes, I agree with you. I feel like Melissa has helped. Like, what would Melissa's storyline be if Teresa wasn't there? Yeah. Like, I don't know if there would be one. But It bothers me that Teresa just doesn't let things go ever. Like she's still harping on the fact that Melissa joined the show behind her back. And even Dolores was like, the storyline is so old. Like, let it go. This happened like 10 plus years ago. Like she's on the show now. You have to deal with it.
Right.
Like that's not going to change. But Teresa making the accusation that Melissa put her in jail was kind of shocking.
I mean, that was totally crazy.
It was insane. It was, but Caroline Manzo said on a, on a podcast recently that she wasn't the one that did it, but she knows who did. So, I mean, could it have been like, imagine like finding out your own family ratted you out? Like there's no going back from that. No,
there's really not. If there's any truth to that, then I am totally team Teresa.
Then Matt, unless they like just wanted to get rid of Joe Giudice, like who knows? I mean, unless I don't know. I'm not gonna even make any accusations about that one, but that was
I know.
And then
I don't want to be involved.
No. And then like Teresa taking Jacqueline's side now after the history that the two of them have had. It's bananas to me. And then even Teresa being like, oh, you never invited me out for dinner when Joe was away. And then Melissa's like, well, I have a photo of us all going out for dinner. I just feel like that when the cameras weren't on them, they were never close. They were never family. They never hung out together. They didn't like one another. And so just leave it at that.
It's weird. It's gonna be good. I guess I can't relate because like my family's so close and I can't imagine anything like this. Same as getting into Danielle and her brother. Mm-hmm. What goes on in Jersey, Christina? I don't get it. Like,
I don't know. I talk to my family, but I do know a lot of people that don't. So maybe it is something in the water over here. I don't know. But I wish Danielle would post like an update being like what it was like seeing her brother at her grandma's funeral, if they talked or if he ignored her. Like, I would love an update on that one. So
I know. It was like, we need it. Maybe at the end of the reunion, they'll give some kind of like, graphic that tells us what happened at the funeral.
But it was a good reunion episode. I'm excited for next week because it seems like Louis possibly did some really shady stuff.
Yeah, not shocking. Not shocking.
Not shocking at all. All right, let's move on over to Atlanta. Kenya's dating again. Kenya brought all these people to Birmingham, Alabama for a terrible charity event.
Oh my God. I was laughing out loud at that mini that wasn't even a mini champagne bottle. That was like a single serve champagne bottle. Like I've had the mini ones. They're like double that size. This was
let's take a shot of champagne.
I mean, making them all dress up like it's the Met Gala for this room of like, and then they got kicked out.
Like, doesn't production clear this beforehand? Like, I was dying. Like this.
I'm gonna look it up right now. How close is Birmingham
to Atlanta?
2.5 to 3.5 hours.
Right, it's not around the corner. But like, I was dying. I was like. Dying. Kenya and then everything was so secretive. Like the women still don't know that she's performing in this halftime show. Like it was just, it was pure TV gold. I absolutely loved it.
TV gold. I love that Kenya's back and better than ever. And has no shame.
No, has no shame. She is still gone with the win fabulous. But people are not happy, especially on social media. People are not happy with Marlo bringing up like that Candy should have helped get her charges dropped. And then this whole thing with her nephew. But then we got Courtney, who's a crisis manager, like Olivia Pope. So she's going to help Marlo, I guess. And then, we see Sonia having her issues with her friends, but then also Kenya admitting to eating booty. So there was definitely some comedic relief.
Oh my God. These girls, we always say it, but the Atlanta ladies do not hold back. Like they do not care. They have no shame in their game. Like they will talk about anything. I was like,
I would literally jaw on the floor. They don't care. I love it so much, but it's going to be we're still like in the middle of or in the beginning stages of the season, and I feel like it's going to get really good. And then next week is Real Housewives of OC that comes back. So mark your calendars, June 7th. Here we come.
I don't know if I'm ready for another one, you guys, but I guess at that point, Jersey will be pretty much over.
Wrapping up. Yeah, I know. Totally. All right. Well, we recently caught up with Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Angie Harrington, who announced that she will not be back for the upcoming season because she wants to focus on her family. She talks to us all about the decision. She talked to us all about her husband creating that fake Instagram account against Jen Shaw and what she thinks the future of the show will look like without Jen. Take a look. a big storyline last season was with you and Jen and the whole Instagram fiasco. I mean, why do you feel like she was so quick to forgive you after that? And were you kind of surprised about that as well?
I was very surprised because we had already spoken about it before filming and everything was okay. So it kind of felt like it was played up, and maybe other people had gotten to her that didn't like me and riled her up, possibly. Because it was when we spoke about it, it was no big deal. It was like, silly mistake. My husband was trying to defend me because what people don't understand is there were a lot of like blogs and other social media accounts coming for me that I know were influenced by cast members. And my husband is a big justice guy. So he just felt like I'm kind of the one, like I mentioned, to turn the other cheek. And he's the type that's like, I love you. I need to defend you. And so contractually, he didn't want to get me or himself in trouble. So he made a fake account. Stupid. Right. But we moved on quickly. I don't know why. I was just as surprised as I think the other people involved were that she made it such a thing, all things considered. But yeah, we got through it.
Yeah. How do you feel about Jen now? Have you spoken to her since she's in prison at all? Do you have any sort of relationship with her family?
I haven't. And if her family needed anything, I'd be there I would be happy to support them.
Yeah.
I have not spoken with Jen. I wish her well. I think she's paying for her crimes, and hopefully restitution will be paid to all the victims. I have a lot of sympathy for them. My wish for Jen is she is on her road to redemption, and this can just make her a better person.
Yeah. Were you surprised that she pled guilty? Because it seemed like a lot of the cast members, she kind of kept it up all last season that she was innocent. So did you feel almost betrayed by her as well?
I didn't have as much skin in the game with Jen.
Sure.
We weren't extremely close, but I did feel lied to. Sure. I felt like she had looked me in the eyes when I tried to, when I had a conversation with her about why are you giving me so much crap for this when, the things you're accused of are much, much more extreme, actually criminal, and she looked me in the eyes and said, I'm innocent. And so I look back on that and think, yeah, that's frustrating. I feel a little betrayed, maybe, but I also think, people make mistakes and she's moving forward, and I truly do wish the best for her.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think the show is going to suffer at all without her being there?
I mean, Jen brings it. I will say that, and she brings the glamour, she brings the drama. She's hilarious. I don't think a lot of people know like how funny and charismatic she is. And so she's great television. But I do think that they know what they're doing in casting, and they know how to find like big, fun personalities, some more a little delusional than others. But they know what they're doing when they cast. And so I think they'll be just fine. And from what I hear, some of the new girls are going to be great as well.
She says that producers, have something up their sleeves. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they're going to find the right people to fill Jen's shoes. All right. Well, let's get into our social spotlight of the week. Who got attention on social media for you?
Mine goes to Carol Radziwill. Haven't heard from her in a while, and she posted some sick bikini photos. I mean, she looks amazing. So not being on the show does a body good, although she always looked good on the show too.
She always looked good. And I love that she was hanging out with Dorinda as well. So I think that is so fantastic. I love that.
Yeah.
Mine went to Tamra Judge. Like we said, Real Housewives of OC comes back next week, and she posted a photo of herself with Shannon, Vicky, and Taylor Armstrong. Says you never know what to expect when the four of us get together. So maybe they are the uno, dos, tres, cuatro amigos now. So who knows what's going to go on there, but excited for the season.
Me too.
All right. Well, that is it for this week's episode of Getting Real with the Housewives. Again, let us know, Team Teresa, Team Melissa, where do you guys stand after part 1 of the reunion? And we will be back next week to recap it all. See you guys then. For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.